Climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for another rant. And if you have a rant suggestion that we have yet to do, be sure and check the rant playlist first. Then send your rants my way via the comment section, Twitter, Facebook, our Discord. All the links to the GeauxBurns Nation below in the description section. So Friday, I was actually scripting up a different rant idea. And then all of a sudden, I came across a video from the one, the only, Ruffy1322. I'm a subscriber. I'm a fan. I'm also a patron. And I really do enjoy his work. And he did a fact-finding video about true multi-class racing finally here in Grand Theft Auto Online. A great video. I highly recommend you check it out, especially if you want to do multi-class racing in Grand Theft Auto Online for yourself. He'll walk you through how to do that. Credit also to another YouTuber, B-Dogs, for originally finding the glitch that allows us to do multi-class racing in the game. Now, as most of you know, I've kind of sort of had an issue with vehicles being misclassed for quite some time. In fact, I did a discuss video about it a while back, Grand Theft Auto Online vehicle misclassification. And there's several rant videos that I've done as well. And one of the big issues was the fact that these vehicles were obviously put in the incorrect class. For example, the Revolter. My biggest issue with it is the fact that it should be a sedan, not a sports car. It has other problems, but that's the big one. The Strider is not a sports car. It's clearly an SUV. Then, of course, the Rapid GT Classic. I love that car, by the way. I didn't rant about it because I like it. But it should be a muscle car instead of a sports classic. The Pariah should be a supercar. The Voltic should be a sports car. And most recently, the Jester Classic should be in the sports classics, which ironically, it originally was when it was part of the Southern San Andreas Super Sports Series update. It never got dripped because it had a lot of issues with it. Rockstar had to fix those problems. And then eventually they released it day one with the After Hours update. And it's funny because if you go into Sports Classics, I think you can still find a Sports Classic version of the Jester Classic to race with, even though it's like a base version. So that was the one mistake Rockstar made with the Jester Classic. Everything else was fine, except for the fact they moved it from Sports Classics over the sports. And I understand why they did that. It's because the Swinger is also a Sports Classic. But I don't see the issue in having the top two cars released on day one of After Hours both being sports classics, because we already have enough sports cars and supercars already. People were going to buy the Jester Classic no matter what class it was going to be in. Sports are sports classic because people love the Supra. It just makes more sense to have it in sports classic. Anyways, this is not a rant about the Jester Classic. Continuing. Wouldn't it be nice if we could use these vehicles that are misclassed to, at the very least, race others from the class that they should have been placed in to begin with? Wouldn't that be awesome to take the Jester Classic and the Swinger up against each other in a Sports Classic multi-class race? Or put the Jester Classic up against other Sports Classics like the Turismo Classic, the Cheetah Classic, the other ones as well, or see how well the Pariah can do against the top tier supercars, or actually give the Voltic some sort of fighting chance to compete in a race maybe with sports cars instead of supercars, in which it always gets its electric ass handed to it, or having the Rapid GT racing with other muscle cars, which is where it should be, but unfortunately it's not. The same thing goes for like the Strider. It should be in the SUV category, racing other SUVs. The Revolter, yes. We all know that this thing definitely should be in the sedans. And it probably would do well in the sedans. But it's obvious if you ever did the stunt race in the city, like Kane attempted to do in a stream the other day for 30 minutes, yeah, you really can't make that jump. And see, that stunt race in the city was designed for sports cars to make the jump. But obviously, the Revolter is not a sports car, Rockstar. No. And more than that, more than just being able to correctly race some of these cars, as I've already mentioned, it would just be fun to put two or more different classes up against each other, just for shits and grins. Like sports versus supers, sports versus sports classics, supers versus sports classics, sports classics versus muscle, sedans versus coupes or compacts versus compacts, SUVs versus off-road vehicles, etc. Multi-class racing in Grand Theft Auto Online is what Bruffy, myself, and many other racers in Grand Theft Auto Online want, Rockstar. We do not want more stunt races or special vehicle circuits or transform races. We don't care for those. We just want the ability to take 2 or more classes of vehicles and put them up against each other, especially vehicles that belong in certain classes, but for whatever reason, we're put in different classes. But unfortunately, we're probably going to get more special vehicle circuit races featuring the Oppressor Mark II or the Scramjet, for example. That would not surprise me in the slightest. But come on, Rockstar. Give us what most of the racing community has been asking and begging and pleading for quite some time now, the ability to have multi-class races. And if you're not going to do that, then just leave this glitch that B-Dogs discovered alone so that we can, in fact, get multi-class racing in the game, even if it is through a glitch. I would prefer if it was just a separate ability that we had to go into the creator and make multi-class specific races with like 2 or 3 different class options. But right now, the best we can hope for is that the glitch is left alone. But knowing Rockstar, it'll probably be gone by the next update.